Previously, when Callia sternly lied Shyman that he wasn't the father of her child, Shasha, Shyman began to beg her to tell him the whole truth. Feeling gloomy, he kisses her hand and swiftly confessed his feelings, expressing that he loves her so much. Hearing this, she immediately became embarrassed with her cheeks turning red. He then delivered an unexpected kiss on her lips and gently caressed Shasha's cheek, stating that until she told him that her child was his, he would do everything he could to make her fall in love with him and accept him as her husband. Later, after Shyman made a toy for Shasha's cradle, he went to Callia's room to show her. However, Gallas stopped him and informed him that she was tired and sleeping. Gallas then dragged Shyman to Shasha's room, where he held Shasha in his arms for the first time. Touched, he suggested to Shasha that they should be friendly and mischievous together. So, let's dive into the chapters 53 and 54 of the manhwa, The Baby Isn't Yours. Observing the father-child conversation between Shyman and Shasha, Nanny Latrika notes that Shasha seems to understand every word. Suddenly, Shyman asks Gallas to fetch the baby's cradle toy, and as he explains that it's a baby mobile that babies enjoy, Gallas excitedly asks if he made it himself. Later, while Gallas and Latrika busy themselves installing the toy, Shyman spends some quality time with his son, Shasha. Gazing into Shasha's deep, mesmerizing eyes, Shyman remarks on how pretty they are. Amid this, Shasha makes a funny face with his wide mouth, causing Shyman to chuckles and ask what's with the monkey-like expression. He also expresses that the toy he made is not just a toy, but a symbol of his love for his child. Witnessing the strong bond between them, Latrika comments that they look like a painting, while Gallas becomes irritated by Shyman's handsome face. And as Shyman switches on the toy, it displays a light show with a series of magical fireworks. Seeing the whole room fills with lights, Gallas exclaims that she never seen anything like this before. However, Latrika points out that it's too early for Shasha to play with this toy, as the lights are too bright, and babies typically respond better to black and white visuals. This realization leaves Shyman shocked with his eyes wide. Latrika adds that Shasha will love the toy when he's a bit older. Feeling gloomy, Shyman expresses his intention to remake the toy and return in 2 hours. To this, Latrika reassures him that there's no need, as the toy he made is already very good. Meanwhile, in the territory of the fairy forest, the council questions why fairies are disappearing only in the fairy forest. One council member mentions that he's heard rumors of a noble in the Rojas Empire trading in fairies, and the number of fairies who went missing in Rojas this year has already exceeded 100. To this, the elder mentions that humans have become arrogant after they won the war. Enraged, King Callia's eldest son, Ganini, asks if the humans want to start tribal war, caressing his beard. The elder states that no matter how early they prepare, it's never too late. With a piercing gaze, Ganini reminds everyone that they just need to reveal who the real enemy is harming the fairies. Suddenly, King Callia's third daughter, Hoa, interrupts the conversation and questions why they don't listen to their king at this point. Smirking, King Callia declares that it's time to break the silence of the fairy forest. Shocked, Ganini asks if the king means he doesn't want to stop the war from happening as well. With mesmerized eyes, Hoa excitedly asks if they're really going to war. To this, King Callia responds that he is not sure, as the owner of the human chimera he met in the forest had ruby red eyes and burning red hair. Hearing this, a council member inquires if red eyes aren't the symbol of demons. Affirming the member, Callia informs that the man also had the body of a demonic chimera. Callia then shifts to the elder, asking for his thoughts as the oldest in the clan. In a soft voice, the elder declares that he will follow whatever the king decides, because the will of the king is the will of the forest. Sometimes later, as Hoa asks Callia if she should prepare for war, Ganini suggests her to calm down. To which, Hoa angrily swears, mentioning that those humans used fairies as chimera. Annoyed, Ganini requests his sister to stop using harsh words. Not wanting to stop, Hoa teases his brother, saying that he is the one who pisses her off the most. After some minutes, they arrive at Kia's spirit birthplace, where Kia's essence is in a deep sleep to preserve her spirit body. Approaching her, Father Callia kisses his daughter, asking how she is doing. Seeing this, Ganini comments that Kia is still beautiful in her sleep. Amid this, Callia's second son, Furiosa, arrives at the scene. Finding everyone together, Furiosa asks why everyone is here at the same time. And as Hoa embraces Furiosa, he expresses that it's nice to meet everyone after a year. Caressing Kia's cheek, Callia reveals when Kia disappeared. Her mother, Lee, released her powers to find Kia and collapsed, and Callia might have found the traces of Kia that her mother was looking for at that time. Shocked, Hoa asks what traces their mother found about Kia. With a sweaty face, Ganini inquires if his sister Kia is still alive, to which Callia sadly shakes his head side by side, indicating she is not. However, he found a clue from which they can find out how Kia died. Hearing this statement, every child of Callia flinch heavily with their eyes wide in shock. And as Callia gently kisses the sleeping Kia on her cheek, he orders his kids to follow him to a specific place. After a few minutes, they arrive at the treasure room of the fairy forest. There, the confused kids ask why Callia brought them here. Smiling, Callia commands them to sweep everything from the room, as it will be part of their training. Dear viewers, apologies for the interruption. If you're genuinely enjoying the content on this channel, please consider hitting the subscribe icon with all notifications, since this little support of yours will help this creator continue delivering high-quality work to brighten your day. And take a moment at the end of the video to leave a comment, sharing your thoughts on the content. Your feedback means a lot. Now, let's not take up too much of your time and jump back into the story. Meanwhile, inside the Lord's castle, Shyman is deep in thought, wondering how he can fix the toy. Suddenly, Shyman remembers about the dragon's egg inside the castle. He mutters that he already asked the ministry to send other archmages to acquire it. Opening the door, he states that he must inform Derek about this. However, upon entering, he finds Derek lying on the floor in a weird position. Observing this, he asks why Derek is sleeping on the floor. But at noting the dragon's egg, he assumes that it must have drained Derek's all magic. Activating his alleviating magic, he places Derek in a comfortable spot to rest. Afterward, he reflects that he'll need to talk to him once he wakes up. Approaching the egg, Shyman thanks it for giving him a way to reunite with Callia. To show his gratitude, Shyman transmits his magical energy into the dragon's egg. As it receives the energy, the egg shines brightly, indicating it is now full. Leaving the room, Shyman reminds himself to go fix the cradle's toy. At the same time, in Callia's bedroom, Callia wakes up from her sleep, exclaiming that she had a soundful nap, and she feels completely refreshed. Approaching the window, she mentions that she can't stay in this castle forever. Moreover, Shyman promised King Louis that he would return when he found her, and if the king asks her to come back as well, she must leave this place. Suddenly, she begins to dance like a bunny, expressing that even Shyman found out about the baby. Amid this, she recalls Shyman's charming face when he confessed his feelings. Remembering this, her face turns a deep red from embarrassment. Abruptly changing her mood, she mutters that the kiss was actually good. Yet, she is confused about whether she can love Shyman back, as his evil mother would never allow it. And since he said that he was determined and willful in the future, it might be a matter of time before she gets over it. Scratching her head, she mentions that there is no one who wouldn't fall for his face. Determined, she declares that once she returns to the capital, she will formally put Shasha in her family register, and will inform King Louis about this. Suddenly, Callia hears a loud noise from the baby's room, and as she secretly peeks inside the room, she finds Shyman along with Gallas and Latrika playing with Shasha in the dark. At sensing Callia's presence, Shyman cheers up like a child, yelling she finally woke up. Rushing toward her, he requests her to come and see what he had made for the baby. Astonished, Gallas yells that this cradle toy is unique, as it comes with a song. And since Shasha can only see black and white, Shyman made it in those colors. Switching on another button, Shyman explains that it can also sing a lullaby, and he adjusted the stability of the magic so it won't affect Shasha's eyes at all. With a smile, Shyman asks Callia if she likes it. To this, she gazes at the lighting and expresses that his toy is really great. Hearing her praise, Shyman asks if his toy is only that good, to which she gets confused, and as he becomes visibly gloomy, Gallas signals Callia to praise him more. Understanding the situation with Shyman, she gently caresses Shyman's head. Perplexed, he asks what she is doing. Still rubbing his head, she responds that she is thanking him for making such a cool toy for Shasha. Suddenly, Shyman grabs Callia's hand and thanks her for the compliment. With a charming face, he expresses that he is happy she liked it. Hearing his sweet words, Callia becomes swiftly embarrassed and reflects that normally he would have taken her hand away without thinking, but he doesn't get it out this moment. In an instant, a teleportation gate opens from nowhere, and from it, King Callia along with his kids step into the room. Seeing them, Callia delivers a smile and states that they came so quickly. However, Shyman steps forward and mentions that despite he trusts King Callia, he needs to introduce the people behind him before they meet Callia. Hearing this, Callia smiles and informs him that they are the protectors, the people who guard the forest, and on top of that, they are also his children. Listening to this, Callia inquires if Kia didn't come with them to meet Shasha. To this, Callia explains that Kia is on a long break and is unable to come here. As we wrap up today's segment, thank you for being with us until the very end. I'll be sharing fresh videos of this manga and exciting new series every weekend. Your support is invaluable, so please subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Your encouragement keeps the channel thriving, and I appreciate it immensely. Until next time, take care and goodbye.